Good morning, fans. Welcome into Drafts at Dawn, the morning show for Empty Bottle Sports, where we discuss the top 5 games for today and our picks for moneyline and/or spread. I'm joined this morning by Danny and Corey, as always. Good morning, fellas, and let's go around the horn and talk about what we're drinking this morning. Danny, what do you have?
Hi, good morning. Good morning. I am sticking with water today because I thought I had a kickball charity tournament going on today, but that got canceled. But I do not have time to get drinks.
Oh, no worries. We can make that work. Corey, what do you got for us this morning?
I'm in the same boat as Danny. We're gonna stick with water for now. I think we'll go out and watch some games, and then we'll switch it up later. We'll get something a little harder.
Oh man, all right. I guess I'm the only one with the drafts at dawn this morning. I got a truly cherry, so we'll keep it rolling for the three of us. All right, let's get right into it. Week 2 of the NFL. Storylines are starting to heat up. Coaches are coming on the hot seats after going 0-2. Things will heat up here after week 2. Our 5 marquee matchups for the week. We're going to start off with the Bills versus the Raiders. Two teams we may have thought had different records coming into the game today, but we'll make our picks on that as we go forward here. Second game we're going to look at today, Ravens versus Bengals. Bengals had a slow start to the season, and we'll see how they fare today. Next game we're going to look at is going to be the Chiefs and the Jaguars. Chiefs and Jaguars, two top AFC contenders facing off early in the season. I think we'll get a lot of questions answered. The next game we're going to look at is going to be the San Francisco 49ers versus the Los Angeles Rams. A heavy division game early in the season. Rams came away with a surprise win, so we'll take a look at that game. And then the final game today we're going to look at is going to be the Commanders versus the Broncos. So, Danny, I will throw it over to you. Let's hear your 5 picks for today, and then ultimately what those odds come out to on a 5-game parlay.
Yeah. So threw down $1 on the parlay. Not because I don't believe in it. Those are just the rules. Otherwise, I believe in it so much, I would put $10 on it. So starting off, we're going to go off with the Raiders plus 9.5. I don't believe in the Raiders, and I feel like the Bills are going to bounce back after that tough week 1 loss against the Jets. I don't think Josh Allen is going to play that poorly for the rest of the season. I'm going to go with the Raiders just because it's such a large spread, especially this early in the season. It's just a little bit too unpredictable, and I just thought it was good money. I just thought it was a good spread to catch up on there. All right, Ravens and Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to go with the Bengals because I'm still on that Houday bandwagon. I feel like Joe Burrow and company will bounce back. I do really like Lamar Jackson, that Ravens team, but at home with the Bengals, I feel like they can bounce back since they're not playing the Browns, and we know how they do against the Browns, like we've talked about. Chiefs and Jaguars. I'm going to go with the Jaguars. Plus 3.5 is what I got on them. Chiefs, man, Patrick Holmes, he was awesome in that week 1 game. He played amazing, but every single ball that just smacked the wide receiver right in the face mask or right off his hand, he could not have placed those balls any better. So it's not that I don't believe in him. I just don't believe in his receiving core. I think they're really missing Tyreek Hill, and it's starting to show because Tyreek Hill is just doing wonders down in Miami right now. So I'm going to take the Jaguars plus 3.5. The Rams plus 7.5, division rival at home. I'm always going to take, especially if they're more than a touchdown dog at home. I'm going to take the home team every single time if they're getting points. So give me Rams plus 7.5. I know, and even though the 49ers just blew out the Steelers last week, just taking the division rival at home. Let's go Washington Commanders at the Broncos. Complete toss-up game for me. I have no idea. It just go two crappy teams. Two teams more so, not that they're crappy. I just don't trust either team. I'm just gonna go with the one getting the points. 3.5 Commanders. And that's right. My spread plus 22.54. So dollar bet pays out $23, $23.5.
Very nice. Yeah, very, very interesting. Some of those games here, giving quite a few points away. Could be an opportunity here for you to cash in on plus 2,200. Corey, anything? Can you give us your picks, and then where do you think you disagree with Danny?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to take the Raiders as well at +8 using DraftKings. So I've got the Raiders at +8. I like I said before, I think the Bills are regressing. They're obviously a very dangerous team. We can't count out Josh Allen. But I'm taking the Raiders at +8. They played well last week, and then we're going to take it down to Baltimore and Cincinnati. I've got I've got Cincinnati at -3, and I think they're going to bounce back. I think they'll have had some dental work done after the curb stomping that my brownies gave them. Joe Burrow got a haircut. That's a good start, you know.
Oh my
They're going
gosh.
to bounce back in a big in a big way today. Then we're going to Kansas City in Jacksonville. I have Kansas City at -3.5. I think Patty's just going to put the team on his back. I know there was some miscues in the offense last week, mostly Kadarius Toney having actual bricks for hands. I think that's either been solved in the week since, or he just won't throw to him. We'll see. Going through the Rams and 49ers. I also am taking the Rams at +7.5. Um, they looked good. The 49ers looked really good too, but when the Rams are at home, I'm with you, Danny. I think that's going to be a close game. And I actually think the Rams are going to win it, but +7.5 was too good to pass up for me. Um, Running down to the Commanders against the Broncos. I This game sucks. All right, I don't even want to watch this game. In fact, I doubt I'll watch this game. I think that if it's on a TV, I will probably orient my chair in an opposite direction. I'm taking the Broncos money line only only because I have that much faith in Washington sucking a little bit more, but that game is a disaster. My total odds came out to +1852. I used an odds boost to put it up to +2,778. I bet $5 on it; it'll pay out like $1.40 something. But a $1 bet I think was going to pay out around $28. So we'll see. Right now they're offering me a cash out of $347, so we're gonna let that ride.
Yeah, those are great picks as well. I think the intrigue for me in the Washington Commanders game and why it's on the docket is going 2-0. I think sets a real statement for the Washington Commanders. So let's see if they can beat Sean Payton and company and really establish themselves. Maybe people will take them more seriously in the next drafts at dawn if they're able to pull out a win here. I'll go through my picks here, and it looks like that line has moved. Maybe for you, Corey, I also have the Raiders +9.5 against the Buffalo Bills. The Jets defense was very good, but the Bills offense just did not look like the Bills offense of past. So we're gonna go with the Raiders at 9.5. This is the Joey B bandwagon channel, but unfortunately, I don't know how well they're gonna play this week. Even at home, they looked all out of sorts. I think the Ravens are going to take this one uh, at least with 3 points there. They're giving them a field goal, so I will take those 3 points. Kansas City Chiefs, Jaguars. I also took the Kansas City Chiefs +3.5. I think the Jaguars could be a contender again this year, but they may be a couple pieces away. I'm gonna take Patrick Mahomes in this matchup. I think we all agree 7.5 points for the Rams at home was we had to get
Yeah,
it on the board here,
yeah,
especially after the surprise win against Seattle. I think maybe some of us and all of us really had the wrong idea about the Rams. And so I think they may have something to say this year. We'll take those 7.5 points for sure. And like I said, Washington Commanders +3.5. I do think the Commanders are slightly underrated. And, Danny and I talked last week on Drafts at Dawn, and we put the Broncos on upset alert against the Raiders and turned out to be right. So the Broncos may not be what we thought they were as well. So those are going to be my picks. Those odds are coming out to plus 25.01, with the $1 bet coming out to about $26 payout. So a very, very exciting slate today. Corey, I'll throw it back to you. Anything else you wanted to add in terms of key factors for each game today?
Yeah. In the Kansas City Jacksonville game, I took Kansas City by the spread, but really I think it's going to come down to Jacksonville's offense, and I wouldn't be surprised. I will not be surprised if Trevor Lawrence throws enough touchdowns to keep them within that 3.5 point spread. I could see this being a field goal or less difference at the end of the day.
Check the connection settings in the Google Home app.
And then going to the Rams, that plus 7.5, man, that was too easy. I think that plus 7.5, I think they could win by 7.5. So, well, I mean, not 7.5, but you get the idea. They could win by more than 7.
Yeah. Like I said, week 2 is always a great week for the NFL because you get the teams that go 0-2. Coaches are on the hot seats. We're looking for are we trading player X, player Y? So week 2 is an interesting week.
Are you talking
Danny,
about Chicago?
All right.
Danny, what are your kind of keys to the games today? What are you looking for?
Yeah, speaking of Chicago, keep an eye on that Tampa Bay game because we know northern teams going down south, especially early in the season, you get all that heat, humidity. Tampa Bay is just going to be just like a swamp today. And I don't think the Bears they're used to heat, but it's just a different kind of heat down south. And you got all that humidity. I would slam the Buccaneers minus 2.5. And the Bears.
No faith in your Bears.
Yeah, that's outside of the top 5 today, we're just no faith in the Bears, unfortunately. Hopefully we're proven wrong. We always hope we're proven wrong. And we try and bet with our heads, when it comes to the Bears game, but sometimes you do bet with the heart. But Danny's rolling with the Buccaneers all day there. No, thank you, Corey. Thank you, Danny, for jumping on today. It's been a great show. Drafts at dawn every Sunday morning. If you guys did like this content, please hit the subscribe button. You don't want to miss Waffles make his pick every Thursday night. We'll also be putting $1 on his bets, and then whatever we win, we'll be putting into the next bet. So we've got $1.39 coming in on his next bet. It'll be very exciting, everybody.
All right.
Thanks for watching.